The Oskaloosa City Council is again debating whether it should give taxpayer money to local nonprofits when agencies ask for it. 2 years ago, the council ended a 25-year run of giving money to the Oskaloosa nonprofit Seneca Agency on Aging. But then last week, the council reversed that decision, deciding to restore its $1,500 donation to the organization.
However, after a finance committee meeting on Thursday, the city council might consider a policy where no nonprofit can even ask for money. CRI reporter Patrick Boberg has more on what options the city is considering.
Fundamentally, I disagree with funding nonprofit agencies and organizations with tax dollars. Fundamentally.
Councilmember Pam Blomgren's firm stance at the Oskaloosa Finance Committee Thursday afternoon is in response to the City Council's vote to donate $1,500 to the local nonprofit Seneca Agency on Aging. City Manager Michael Schrock had his reservations about the action.
My strong objection to what happened at the last council meeting was the fact that it was just no strings attached. We gave them money.
Right.
However they want to use it.
In response to the Agency on Aging's request, the council decided the city needed a uniform policy when dealing with nonprofit requests. City Manager Michael Schrock turned to other Iowa community actions when writing an initial policy.
Osceola, this is like the bane of their existence, and every manager that I've spoken to.
Schrock looked at 3 communities. Creston City Council was advised by its attorney it can't donate to organizations unless they pertain to economic development. Norwalk does provide funding to nonprofits, but only after determining a public purpose for the funds. And Osceola has no formal policy, but does hold a concept of giving, donating to several area nonprofits. Finally, Schrock presented the committee with the funding request the United Way of Mahaska County received this year from area nonprofits. A large part of the United Way's mission is to help secure funds for nonprofits, and with the council's decision to do the same by donating to Agency on Aging, Schrock expects to hear from each of the nonprofits that approach the United Way.
There are 19 there, the 20 if you include United Way. Once you start funding, they will never go away.
Right. My wife isn't here today, so I'm taking it home.
John Campbell started coming to the Agency on Aging over a year ago when his wife developed carpal tunnel. Now he sits on the agency board.
We've got probably one of the best senior centers in a 10-county area.
Campbell sees $1,500 as a small amount to donate to Oskaloosaans who have been paying taxes for decades.
I'm 77 years old. I'm not a kid, but there's people in here that are 90. All their lives they've been paying taxes, and what do they get out of it?
Also on the agency's board is City Council member Aaron Versteg, who heard a lot about the council's recent donation to the Mahaska Community Recreation Foundation.
Why did you fund Mahaska, the MCRF, $40,000 or $20,000, I guess it was, for a football field? And you can't fund us for $1,500 for what we do for the community.
You don't want to make it look like, though, Aaron, that you are getting funding for an agency because you sit on the board. There needs to be a policy in place.
I agree.
The rough draft policy which Michael Schrock presented to the Finance Committee contained very hard rules for nonprofits to qualify for city funds, including IRS documentation of nonprofit status, itemized budgets for the previous 5 years, explanation of how funds would be used, agencies could not be affiliated with religious organizations, and many more. But after much deliberation, the Finance Committee decided on an even stricter policy. Nonprofits may no longer receive tax dollars from the city of Oskaloosa, with the exceptions of the Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Main Street, the Mahaska Community Recreation Foundation, the Mahaska Community Development Group, and the Oskaloosa Downtown Development Group, all of which either have special agreements with the city or offer special economic development services to Oskaloosa. Up next for the nonprofit funding policy is an open debate and vote in the Oskaloosa City Council. And if a 40-minute debate between 2 council members and a finance committee meeting is any indication, that council meeting could be a lengthy one. For CRI Weekly News, I'm Patrick Boberg.
Thanks, Pat. The city's nonprofit funding request policy won't be discussed by the Oskaloosa City Council until its Monday, October 17th meeting. If you want to watch an extended cut from the Oskaloosa Finance Committee meeting, head to our website, www.critv.org.